Prince Harry's relationship with King Charles has once again become the center of royal debate, but this time the spotlight is not directly on father and son. Instead, attention has turned to one of the most influential figures working behind palace walls. As reports confirm that King Charles's longtime private secretary, Sir Clive Alderton, will step down from his role next year, speculation has exploded over whether this could change the future of the royal family's most strained relationship. But according to royal commentator Lady Colin Campbell, anyone expecting this development to suddenly open the door for reconciliation may be reading the situation all wrong. For years, Sir Clive Alderton has been one of King Charles's closest and most trusted advisors. As principal private secretary, he has played a central role in managing the monarch's official business, helping coordinate royal engagements, and advising the king during one of the most significant transitions in modern royal history. His influence has made him one of the most recognizable palace officials, even if he largely operates behind the scenes. His planned retirement after his 60th birthday has naturally raised questions about what comes next. Whenever a senior palace figure departs, there is always curiosity about whether a change in personnel might also signal a change in strategy. For some royal watchers, that immediately sparked speculation that Prince Harry could benefit if someone new takes over the position. That theory is partly rooted in Harry's own words. In his memoir Spare, the Duke of Sussex portrayed Sir Clive in an unflattering light, even giving him the nickname the Wasp. The description reflected Harry's frustration with what he believed were palace officials standing between him and meaningful communication with his family. Since the book's publication, many observers have wondered whether Harry viewed senior aides as obstacles rather than simply advisors carrying out the king's wishes. During a discussion on Talk TV, Lady Colin Campbell rejected the idea that Sir Clive's departure would suddenly improve Harry's position. She argued that replacing one advisor with another would not fundamentally alter the situation because the role itself remains the same. Whoever succeeds Sir Clive will still be responsible for protecting the king's interests and implementing the monarch's decisions. Her comments also highlighted a broader debate that has surrounded the royal family for years. Some believe palace officials have too much influence over relationships within the monarchy, while others argue that advisors simply execute decisions already made by the king. That distinction is important because it shifts responsibility away from palace staff and places it firmly with the monarch himself. Lady Colin Campbell suggested that Harry has often believed members of the royal household prevented his father and even his late grandmother from responding more positively to his requests. In her view, however, palace officials are not independent decision-makers. Their responsibility is to carry out the wishes of the sovereign, not replace them. If that interpretation is correct, then changing one advisor for another would have little practical effect. Even if Theo Rycroft, who is widely expected to become Sir Clive's successor, eventually assumes the role, he would still be working within the same constitutional framework. His job would be to advise King Charles while respecting the king's own priorities and decisions. That perspective aligns with comments previously attributed to palace sources, who have consistently maintained that any reconciliation between King Charles and Prince Harry ultimately depends on the two men themselves. According to those accounts, no advisor has the authority to prevent a father and son from rebuilding their relationship if both genuinely wish to do so. This distinction matters because it challenges one of the most common narratives surrounding the royal rift. Public attention often focuses on palace insiders, communications teams, or senior advisors as though they control every development. In reality, constitutional monarchies operate through established structures where advisors provide counsel, but major family decisions remain personal. Sir Clive's departure should also be viewed in its broader context. Buckingham Palace has made clear that this is a planned transition rather than an abrupt exit. After leaving his formal position in May next year, he is expected to continue supporting King Charles and Queen Camilla in a less formal capacity. That detail suggests continuity rather than dramatic change. The palace's public statement praising Sir Clive's loyalty, experience, and years of dedicated service reinforces that message. Rather than signaling a new direction, officials emphasized stability and a smooth handover to the next private secretary. That is hardly the language of an institution preparing for a major policy shift. Meanwhile, Prince Harry remains physically and institutionally distant from royal life. Since stepping back as a working royal, he has built a new life in California while continuing to pursue independent projects. Although there have been occasional reports of private communication between father and son, no public evidence has emerged to suggest that a full reconciliation is imminent. Every personnel change inside Buckingham Palace naturally attracts headlines because the monarchy remains one of the world's most closely watched institutions. Yet it is worth separating symbolic developments from substantive ones. A new private secretary may bring a different management style or fresh perspectives, but that does not necessarily change the king's personal decisions or the family's underlying dynamics. As royal observers continue watching every development, expectations should perhaps remain realistic. Staff transitions happen in every institution, including royal households. They are important for continuity and governance, but they rarely rewrite deeply personal family relationships overnight. Whether Sir Clive Alderton's retirement becomes merely an administrative milestone or the beginning of a new chapter for the House of Windsor will only become clear with time. For now, the strongest indication from both palace messaging and experienced royal observers is that any meaningful breakthrough between King Charles and Prince Harry will depend far less on who occupies an office inside Buckingham Palace and far more on the choices made by the father and son themselves. Do you believe a new senior palace advisor could eventually help rebuild trust between King Charles and Prince Harry, or is reconciliation entirely in their own hands? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this analysis, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with other royal watchers.